In the previous session, we discussed about web services. And when you're working with these web services, you typically handle the data either in XML format or JSON format. Most of the web services provide the data in one of these two formats. So when you're working with these web services, you typically get into a situation where you may have to convert your data in your ABAP internal tables or structures into either XML or JSON format. Similarly, if you're receiving the data from a web service in XML or JSON format, then you have to convert that data into your internal tables or structures. So for example, when you're creating this producer program where you're extracting data from an SAP system and exposing it to an external application via web service, then you typically do these conversions where you convert the data that is there in your internal table or structure into either XML or JSON formats. So we call it serialization and deserialization of data. So in serialization, you are converting your ABAP data into the binary formats from which it can be converted to XML or JSON. And in deserialization, you receive the serialized data that is in binary format and then you convert that data into your internal ABAP data objects. So in this session, I'll talk about how to do these conversions, how you can convert your ABAP data that is stored in your internal tables or structures into either XML or JSON. To achieve this, SAP provides a transformation program which we call it XSLT programs. XSLT stands for Extensible Style Sheet Language Transformation. It is basically a template which contains the rules that should be applied to your XML data to convert them into your own data objects. So SAP by default provides this program which is available in the SAP kernel. So just by using a certain keyword, we can take advantage of that to do our conversions from your internal tables or structures into your XML or JSON formats. So with XML, SAP provides a direct conversion where using a certain keyword, we can call this transformation program and it will convert the data into XML. Whereas with JSON, it doesn't provide a direct support, but SAP provides one SXML library using which we can do the conversion to JSON format. So if you are new to this XML and JSON and wondering what is this XML and JSON, I recommend you to go to this website w3schools.com where you can read about JSON and XML. Basically, these are two formats of representing the data. They're not programs or they do not contain any programming syntax as such. They're simply a way of representing the data, a common way to represent the data so that different applications can read that data. For example, if I'm extracting some data into an internal table and if I send that data directly to an external application, it may not understand what kind of structure I'm following to save the data in my internal table. Whereas this XML and JSON are more standardized formats using which you can represent your data so that your third-party applications can process that data. Okay, so if you go to this website to W3 Schools, you'll get a much better explanation about XML and JSON. I recommend you read this XML, understand the syntax that is followed in XML, and also under JavaScript you'll find this JSON. You can read about it. Basically, if you look at this page, both JSON and XML can be used to receive data from a web server. Basically, whatever data you have, you can format the data using either XML or JSON. So you make that data available in this XML format or JSON format. And XML format typically contains these tags. So for example, here they are giving an example of employees. So to represent different employees, you have one header tag employees and it ends with /employees. And these tags are not fixed. There are no fixed tags that you have to use. You can use any tag. It's just that the application that will be reading your data should be aware of the tags that you'll be using. So it's left to you to use any tag that you want. So for example, if I want to show the material data, then I can use the tag name as material. So there is no fixed predefined tags that you have to follow. You just have to keep your data between these tags. So we have this employees tag which closes here, and within this employees we have this employee. So each employee will have this employee tag and that employee tag closes here. So we are trying to tell that we have different employees And within that we have each employee, and again each employee has a first name, so it has a first name tag, it ends with slash first name, and then there's a last name tag which ends with slash last name. And if you want to use employee ID, then you can add one more tag, employee ID, and then slash employee ID. So like that it will contain different tags. It's more easy to read. So you have this opening tags and end tags in XML, whereas the same data can be represented in JSON like this. So you have one employees, and this object is represented using this curly braces. So it starts here and it ends here, and within that again you have this first name. So if you notice, in XML everything has a closing tag, whereas in JSON you don't have that closing tags. So you just close it with the curly brace. So you have this employees, and then first name, you have this key value pairs. So key, this is the key and this is the value, and last name, this is the key and this is the value. So all these are enclosed within this double quotes. So this is how the data will be, the same data will be represented in JSON, and this is how the data will be represented in XML. So the advantage of JSON is that it is more simplified, so you take less space as well, and to process the JSON file will be much faster compared to processing an XML file, because you have to loop through each tag to read the contents, whereas JSON is more like key value pairs, so accessing that data will be much easier. This makes a difference with the performance. So when you receive the data in a JSON format and you want to parse it and convert it into your internal table data, then a JSON file can be processed much faster compared to an XML file. Otherwise, these are the two standard formats in which the data is exchanged whenever we are dealing with web services. So if you remember one of the web services I've shown you earlier with that CMT data we were pulling from a CMT web service, then when I call that web service, they typically return the data either in XML or JSON format. And once I receive the data in this format, I'll convert that to my own variables and then store it in my database. So we'll see how to do the same in ABAP. So if you're receiving some data in either JSON or XML format, how you can convert that data into your internal table or structures. And if you want to expose the data in either XML or JSON, then how you can convert this internal table or data that is stored in a structure into XML or JSON. So that's what I'll be talking about in this session. And it is actually very simple. Let's say I'll define one structure first. And I'll write a select star from MAKT into, to say select single into STMAKT, where matnar equals to 100, 100. So I'm pulling the data for this material, and now I want to convert this data that is there in this structure into XML. So first I'll show you how to do it with XML, and then we'll see how to do that same with JSON. To convert this data into XML format, we'll define one data object, let's say XML string, type string. To convert this, all I have to do is use this keyword call transformation ID. This ID represents the template it will be using. If I say ID, it will use the default template. Otherwise, in SC80, there's an option to create this transformation. So you can create your own transformation, maintain the rules, and use that as the ID also. So I'll say call transformation ID source. You can give any name. If you want the data to be within a tag, then you can give the tag name. For example, I can say material. So this will be the tag. So here if you see, this tag name will be material, or I can say materials equals to STMAKT. Since we are dealing with only one material, let's say material only. If you're using an internal table, then you can say materials, and then you say result XML equal, you don't need to say equal to, simply say XML string. So what this keyword will do is, it will call this transformation and convert my internal table data into an XML string. after this, if I want to display this in output, I can use this class CL. This is a demo class available which we can use. Output. There is a static method, write underscore XML, and I'll pass my XML string to this, and then I'll call the output method. This is just a demo class CL demo output available which you can use for testing to see how the XML data is displayed. Sorry, I should say display. So if you see, I am selecting one record from MAKT, and that record is shown in XML format. So that call transformation is converting that into XML format. So we have this material tag, and then we have for each field we have this tag. MNDT is this, MATNAR is this, PRAS is this, MAKTX is this. Right? Similarly, if you are using an internal table, for example, so instead of single record, if I get multiple records, I'll say select star from MAKT into table IT MAKT, and I'll say materials equals to IT MAKT. Now it should show us all the materials. So we have this materials, and within that we have different materials. Okay, so this is how you can convert your data into XML format using this call transformation keyword. What that basically does is it will trigger that XSLT program that is available by default in the SAP kernel. So that program will take care of converting your internal table or structured data into your XML format. You can also use a variables. If you just want to convert one field, then you can also use a variable. So this is how you can convert data. This is called serialization, where you are converting your internal ABAP data objects data into XML format. And if you are receiving data in XML format, then you can convert it into your internal ABAP data object format also. To do that, for example, let's say I'll convert this back to my internal table. I can say call transformation ID source XML string result, let's say material equal to IT MAKT. I'll clear IT MAKT at this point, and let's see in debug mode what happens. So if I keep a breakpoint here, so at this point IT MAKT is having this data and I'm clearing it, so there's no data, and my XML string, if you see, has this XML data, and after I call this transformation, you can see it has used that XML string and translated all that data into my internal table, right? So this is how you can convert it. So this is deserialization. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. In other programming languages, you still have to write some code, few lines of code to do all this, but in SAP, as with many things in ABAP, just one keyword will do a lot of things for you. Similarly, if you want to do the same with JSON, then later JSON, let's say type string, and I'll comment this out. With JSON, you cannot directly use this transformation. We have to use this SXML library. I'll create one reference object let's say writer type reference to cl underscore sxml underscore string writer. So this is the library provided by SAP which will help you to convert your data into JSON format. So basically it will convert the data first into XML format, and then from the XML format it will convert it to JSON format. And to instantiate this, we call this method this is a static method create. So I'll say writer equals to create, and to this we have to pass that format. So if you look at this class, CLSXML string writer class, there's a method called create which will return me the object instantiation. It's a factory method, and if I look at the parameters, we have to pass this type for JSON. You have to pass this as JSON. Okay, so type equals to, there's an attribute if sxml coxt JSON. So you have to pass this as the type. So we'll pass type equals to this. So this is the format we want to convert it to, and then I'll call this transformation, saying call transformation ID source materials equals to itmkt and result XML, and I'll give this object. I'm giving the result as this object writer, and once you have that, then this writer has one method. For example, let's say it will return it in a X string binary format. So let's say XJSON type X string, and if I can say something like XJSON equals to writer, and there is a method get output. So this will give me the data in X string format, hexadecimal string, which is more like a binary format of the data, and I cannot print it directly. So if you want this to be converted into your string format, character format, then we have to use this code page. So using code page we can convert it. So you can basically apply one code page, and there is a standard SAP class available for doing this code page conversions. I can say JSON equals to CL ABAP code page. There is a method convert from, and I can pass this X string value XJSON. So this will convert it into my text format, and then I can use this class, and here instead of write XML I'll say write JSON, and I'll pass this JSON. Okay, so this should show the data in JSON format. Okay. So if you don't want to write this statement in 2 lines, you can also do it this way. I can take the output returning parameter of that and give it here directly. This also you can do. So you can avoid declaring one extra variable also. Okay, so this way also you can write, or that way also you can write the same code. Now, if I execute, here you can see writer is just an object. We are instantiating by calling this factory method create, and we are passing type as JSON. And if you look at ITMKT, it has this data. So the object is instantiated, I'm getting a reference, and then I'm calling this code page to convert the data into my string format. Otherwise, it will return me in binary format. So you'll have zeros and ones and all these things, hexadecimal values basically. And then, if you see, at this point, the data is converted into JSON format, and I'm writing this in the output. So you see the same data now is represented in JSON format. Okay, so this is how you can do with JSON. The only thing is, since this transformation doesn't have default option to convert it to JSON, SAP provides this SXML library using which you can convert it to JSON. So you convert it into XML. It does it automatically internally. Basically, when you're calling this transformation, it will convert it into XML and then convert it into your JSON. So this is how you can serialize your data into XML or JSON formats. Now to deserialize JSON, it's similar to XML. What we can do is, we can say call transformation ID source XML my JSON and result. The tag we are using is materials equals to ITMKT. I'll clear ITMKT. And if I keep a breakpoint here, so ITMKT is having this data, it's cleared, and my JSON string is having the data in JSON format. Once I call the transformation, it converts it into my internal table. Okay, so that's how you deserialize your JSON data into your internal tables. So this XSLT program makes it very simple for you to do these conversions from your internal ABAP formats to XML or JSON formats. Okay, so whenever you're working with web services, you may need to know these things, because if you're calling a web service specially, then you get the data in a JSON or XML format. So you should know how you can convert that into your internal tables. But if you have noticed, when we develop these web services, we have created these proxies, right? So in the proxy only we are giving the web service URL, and that is automatically taking care of converting the data for you and giving it to you into your internal tables. So you might not have to call these transformations, but sometimes you may have requirements where you have to manually do this conversion. So in that case, you can use these transformations. So that's about XSLT, JSON and XML. See you in the next session.